Live. Hey!
We are back.
This is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked.
Welcome to our second live for today. What is the date today? Wednesday.
November 8th. And it is 5:18 p.m. And we are going to be talking about Project Bluebeam, which is a fan request.
It is a fan request.
It is.
And our fan that requested this was watching our last live. So I hope you are still there, Miss... should we say the name?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
You
know who you are. I don't think that we should put people under the bus, but if you go back in our lives, you can see who did it.
You know what? I am missing a couple pages, so I will be back, Jenna. You can do
God!
You can do your little song and dance.
Are you really?
Yeah, the ones that you said I needed, I put up on the shelf, and I'm like, oh no, it printed multiple times, but it didn't. I will be right back, because I do need my notes. Hi, Luke.
Alright, go ahead.
I'll be back. I gotta get the rest of my notes.
And I actually have to print 2 extra pages of mine. So, welcome to the pre-show. Oh, look what I just saw. Breaking news. Google to delete millions of Gmail accounts next month in a huge purge. Yeah. So, if you have not been on your Google account, I'm just looking at msn.com. It came up on, just as news. Like, I opened a new tab and that's what came on. Oh my God, they're going to delete millions of Gmail, Drive, and photo accounts next month as part of a major update to the platform. The purge will impact all personal Google accounts that have been left dormant for at least 2 years, with emails, documents, spreadsheets, calendar appointments, photos, and videos all permanently deleted.
Oh, that's
good
pictures?
to know.
Wow.
Luckily, I do use my Google all the time, so I will be good. Not for email, but like my phone, because I have an Android, it's like Google.
Yeah.
So everything it's all back. That's like my Google
it's like
Drive.
on the cloud,
my Google, yeah, it's the cloud, and I use it all the time. So I think I even pay for extra on the cloud.
Hi, Keith.
Hello.
I have to lean, now that we have the new setup, I have to lean forward because I can't
I
see
can't
the
see it
names.
at all. Have you lost your mind? I can't see anything.
It's the camera is really far away from us. It may not, I don't know if it looks like it is or not on camera. But
compared to what it was before. I mean, I don't know. I would imagine it does. But
it's pretty far away.
it is. It's super far away.
So if we don't say hi to you right away, we just can't see
We can't see anything. So if we don't respond to you, I'm sorry. Like we're not trying to be mean to you personally.
As we say that, somebody else popped up. Keith? Is it Keith? Is there 2
You already
Keiths?
did, Keith.
No, there's another name.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, it says hello, ladies. How are you? You know what? Try to look on there if you can see.
I can. I already tried. Let me see my glasses. Hello. Oh no, it's Keith saying hello.
No, but there's another Keith.
No, it's Keith entering and then Keith saying hello. We can't see anything. I'm sorry. I try to put on my glasses and I can barely see what's going on. Dude, this printer is pissing me off though. Okay, just let's start this shit. Are we ready? Let's do a little testy test.
Okay.
Oh, let me fish out my...
Fish it out. Fish it out.
There it is. All right, test this shit. Here you go.
Hello.
Wait, hello. Test. It's the volume.
Welcome to Conspiracies Unlocked, and thank you for listening to our wonderful episode.
Oh, we're good. Perfect. Let's start recording. Hello, hello. Do it again.
Hi, this is Heather with Conspiracies Unlocked.
And this is Jenna, testing on love.
Thank you for...
All right, let me make sure it sounds good. I can't hear shit.
This
It recorded.
sometimes happens.
More than it should, considering we just freaking recorded. Urgh. Oh, because I muted us, remember, from the last time? There it is. We sound so great, Heather. I'm so proud of us. Okay, and we're a go. Hi, this is Jenna. Okay, let's redo that. No, we're redoing that because you could hear that very loudly.
I know with the table now, everything's going to echo if we make noise, huh?
Okay, ready, set, and go. Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
And today we are going to be talking about Project Bluebeam because a fan requested it.
Yes, we did have a loyal listener who did request us to just touch on Project Bluebeam. I wouldn't call this a deep dive per se, but we are going to touch on Project Bluebeam today.
Which we have already touched on before during the HARP episode, I believe.
I believe it was a HARP episode and actually came up in another episode. I think the direct energy weapons.
Yes, I think that Project Bluebeam does come up a lot because it's one of those, it's all connected subjects. It is literally all connected.
It is.
So,
and, you know, with that being said of it's all connected, before we talk about Project Bluebeam, we're actually going to talk about a couple of projects that happened before Project Bluebeam.
Really?
Because Project Bluebeam was not the first UFO research program and investigation program that was in place.
I had no idea.
So the first one that I found is called Project Sign.
Oh.
Yes. So Project Sign was a top secret U.S. government program that operated in the late 1940s and early 50s.
I thought Project Bluebeam started in the late 40s as well.
Project Sign was the first in the 40s.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And this initiative, also known as Project Saucer.
Ooh.
So,
Saucer.
it was established to investigate and analyze reports of unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, more commonly known as UAPs.
Now, more commonly.
Yeah. Now.
That's a now. That's like saying,
yeah.
X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Every news, like when you read news stories, it's like the longest thing. X, formerly known as Twitter.
It's like everybody knows what X is now,
Or just call it Twitter and call it a day.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, yes. And Project Sign, or also known as Project Saucer, was to determine whether these mysterious aerial phenomenon posed any potential threat to national security. Because even now, with the July 2023 UAP hearing, you know, everyone wants to know if this is a national security problem, and everybody is asking for transparency.
Yes.
Project Sign was the first official effort by the U.S. military to systematically study UFO sightings and gather information on these unidentified craft that were quite often reported by military pilots and commercial pilots. But in the 40s and the 50s, they received a lot of eyewitness reports, primarily from military pilots who saw things in the sky that were very alarming, and to the point where they were having mental breakdowns and put in asylums almost for even talking about it, and they would just silence them.
Or now they just kill them. But I did have a question, actually. While we record this, we're recording live on Facebook, and someone brought up something, which I was the same way. I thought it was Project Blue Book, which I am the same way. Is it Project Blue Book or Project Blue Beam?
So this is Project Blue
Beam, but is it interchangeable, or is there a different Project Blue Book?
It's Project Blue Book, but I had a typo, and I was saying Project Blue Beam because there is another one that we did a story on about the beam, and I was thinking of the direct energy weapon.
That's
beam.
it. Okay.
So, my bad. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You are right. I was thinking of the direct energy, and I was like interchanging
the
them
direct energy weapon
because that was a blue beam, and that made me think of HARP too.
Yes.
Because HARP is all about the blue beam. Yeah, but it is Project Blue Beam and Blue Book, and you are correct. I don't know why I wrote beam, because at the top it says beam, but it's book everywhere else. It's just my title says book. beam.
Oh, that's so funny.
Like, you can literally see the title says beam, but everything else in here says book. That's
Okay.
why I started looking frantically. I'm like, wait a minute. Everything else says book. So it was just a typo in the title. So I'm very sorry about that. These things happen, and this is live, and this is unedited, and this is what happens.
Yes.
And it's something that would have been caught later as I'm looking over my notes more.
So I just messaged the person who said that to us and thanked him.
Yes.
We appreciate it. It happens. I honestly, because you have used them so interchangeably,
Yeah.
that I just assumed that they were the same thing.
No.
Or then I was like, oh, I don't want to say that and it be wrong because this is like your deal.
Yeah.
You're aliens. I'm everything else. And so, okay, cool. I'm glad that we got it settled then. It's not Project Bluebeam. There is no Project Bluebeam, I don't think. But
So, like I said, I was getting it with the Project Blue Beam, or Blue Beam, because I was thinking of direct energy weapons.
there is
and
a Project Project Bluebeam by NASA.
Yeah, there is a Project Blue Beam also.
Is a conspiracy theory. So Project Bluebeam is the conspiracy theory, but Project Blue Book is real.
Project Blue Book is what we are talking about today, but there is going to be aspects of the conspiracy theory which will probably touch on Project Bluebeam, and that could be why the title is Project Bluebeam Unlocked. It should be Blue Book because we are going by facts, but we are going to touch on different aspects of the steps of what they believe NASA is doing. It's like, it is a conspiracy. Okay, so going back to Project Sign, the key features of Project Sign do include, basically, Project Sign was initiated in the late 1947, following a surge in UFO sightings, including the famous, that we all know, Roswell.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, you know, they said that they did come out and say that it was a weather balloon and that it wasn't anything for the general population to be worried about. But of course, people are going to have questions and they're not going to let it go. And they did investigate those UFO sightings. It was established by the United States Air Force. And it was the Air Material Command, and the operation operated in a classified manner. So everything was like top secret, and obviously they weren't going to release anything to the public at the time.
Super skiffy.
Super skiffy, yeah. If David Grush knew anything, he would not tell us. He would say it would have to be in a closed setting.
A skiff, if you will.
Yes. So the mission of Project Sign was to collect and investigate and get as much data and reports of UFO sightings and different encounters from whomever and wherever. You know, like I said, primarily the military pilots, because they were flying their jets in the sky, and obviously they would see things that wouldn't pop up on the radar, or they would, and like, what is this? And that's very alarming. It was involved a team of the military and also civilian, because as we know, we could look in the night sky and we could see something and like, okay, what could that be? Mm-hmm. You know, and most people have like the question, are we alone? Whether whatever you believe in religiously or not, you're going to have that like something in us. Where do we come from? Our heritage. People now, they do like their DNA. They want to know where their family lineage is from. You know, it's just like a kind of a question.
How did we evolve? How did mankind come to be? Where was it a god that just zapped Adam and Eve? Or was it aliens that put us here? Or how did the universe start? And as I go further and further of how vast the universe is.
It's a rabbit hole of questions.
It literally makes my head hurt how small we are.
Yeah, we're very insignificant and very small.
Yes.
So with all that being said, you know, that they did have this program where they, including scientists, intelligence officers, of course, and aviation specialists, astrophysics, like everyone across the board was basically looking into this because they're trying to figure out what these are, and they're trying to find a rational explanation to give to the general population, because they don't want like a hysteria. This is in the 40s and the 50s following the war, and we all know there's a whole war hysteria, and that was a whole thing that they wanted to try to make sure that people felt safe and comfortable, and that their national security was, that they were safe.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
It could be a missile. A UAP could be a missile.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
So the Roswell thing happened right at the ass end of, or during World War II, right?
Yeah, 47, I believe. Yeah.
So that was the ass end of World War II. So people, just went through World War I. Now they're through World War II.
Yeah.
And they just came off the Depression and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Baby boomers are starting. They're starting to have more babies, and they're starting their lives again.
Mm-hmm. And these are people that lost everything, and they're trying to rebuild their family.
The stock market is coming back up again. Everything is getting better. And then all of a sudden, there's all these fucking, things in the sky, and they're like, what the fuck?
Now you have to worry about some kind of invasion.
Yeah, or it could be from
another country. Yeah.
And
what if it was Germany? I mean, there's a lot of speculation that Germany had their own programs. And,
exactly. Time travel and all sorts of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So then that does put a different swing on things.
Mm-hmm.
That people then, so for the government to have to come out with a statement to ease everybody's minds.
Weather balloon.
That kind of prefaces how we can't handle the truth now, supposedly. Even though we are in a much better state, although I think we're going back down to a worse state, but we were at a very non-volatile state to handle UFOs a few years ago.
I feel like people now are so desensitized that if there was an alien to stand directly, I mean, maybe I would freak out, even though I have a tattoo of an alien on my leg, but if I saw an alien right there, I would probably think I was hallucinating.
I love skeletons and stuff, but if I could never be next to a dead body skeleton.
Yeah, I just feel like people are so desensitized that they wouldn't even really. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, aliens, yeah, probably." Okay,
what I think is that people would rather it be aliens than it be Russians or some other country invading us at this point.
Oh yeah, without
America.
a doubt. Yeah.
Where before,
but who's more hostile?
We don't. The other countries,
what I mean?
Yeah, we don't know.
That's the problem.
I take my chances with the aliens.
So this leads into my next part of what I was going to discuss is the public interest.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about. The UFO sightings obviously capture the imagination and media attention. Just like with the spy balloon from China. When that was going around, it got so much media coverage that...
I think that people forget that there's a media coverage even in the early, mid-1900s. Because I feel like now everything is spread so fast via internet. And so back then it had to be through a newspaper, and that it wasn't able to get across so quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that people forget that there was media back then. There was journalism back then. And news did cross pretty quickly, considering they didn't have the internet. I mean, they had in the 1800s, 1700s, late 1700s, they had newspaper, or not newspaper, but news tellers. So there'd be the town's news person who would go town to town of whatever was going on.
And there's been UAP, UFO sightings for all of time, which we've talked about in other episodes too. So it's not like anything new in the 40s, in the 50s.
No.
I mean, I remember...
It's just, I think that newspapers were more...
It's more widespread now because it's more, it's better, easier for people to communicate.
Morse code came out in 1912 or something, 1911.
So they can communicate better with each other about what they saw in their area. But I remember a story about, my grandmother was born in 1917. My mom's mom.
My mom's mom was born in 1917 as well.
Really?
Shut up.
Yeah, she was born in 1917.
When did she die?
She died when I was 12.
Me too!
That's weird. Was she German?
No!
Okay, mine was partially German, she had other parts.
No,
mine was... she had other parts of her.
Mine was
other heritage, but
mine
was
100% Scottish.
Yeah.
But I believe she was born in maybe it was 1927.
Well, mine was definitely 1917, and her husband was born in 1915. They were older generation, but my point of saying that is when she was a kid, she grew up in Waverly, Iowa. She didn't grow up in Germany. Like, her family was from Germany, but she was born in America. And,
so you're like you're third, I'm first. Yeah. By the way, guys, just so we're all aware, I'm first generation American. I am America as fuck, but I am first generation.
I'm the first. About third.
Yeah, I'm first. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I just figured it out like a year or two ago, and I'm like, it's funny.
No, it's good. I mean, I'm
first generation American. Most people are like second, third, fourth, 20th, whatever.
Yeah.
My mom was never an American citizen. I mean, she's still white as fuck coming from Scotland, but still, it's not like she came from like Mexico or like Colombia or like Italy or any of the cool places.
Any of the cool places.
The minority places.
So, going back to my grandmother, who was born in 1917, she did have German descent and others. We're very European. I think most of my DNA is Scandinavian because I did my DNA, and I got a lot of Scandinavian. Yeah, that's Swedish. Yeah, I'm Swedish. From Sweden and Germany and Ireland and yeah. So I'm kind of a mutt, a European mutt. But anyway, the point is that she did speak German because her parents were like fluent. But when she grew up in Waverly, Iowa, she was born in 1917. My great grandfather, her father he smoked cigars. She had like 19 brothers and sisters too, because like they lived on a farm and like they all worked together. You know, it was just how they did it back then. But long story short, he was outside smoking a cigar on his big wraparound porch on the big old farm, and he called the family out because they saw a tic-tac shape.
Oh my God.
UFO going across in the sky.
And that would
have been in like the early 20s.
Yeah.
And I was always thinking like, I wonder if it was one of those,
weather balloons?
No, not a weather balloon. No, the other ones, the Z one, help me out, people who are watching, Zeppelins, right?
Oh,
is that what they're called? Like
the Zephyrs.
The Zephyr, yeah. But apparently it wasn't. Like, it was, I don't know when those were built, but it was like different. Like the way that they described it, the way it like shot around, it didn't just like cruise. It was like, like UFO. And that would have been way back then. So this is like at least 20 years before Project Sign.
Yeah.
That I know from my family. So
crazy.
And I know it even goes back farther than that.
For sure.
So going back to Project Sign, it was created in response to the growing interest, obviously, about the UFOs in the public and the military, who had been witnessing different things. The project's personnel analyzed witnesses and testimony. They analyzed radar data and any relevant information, to try to figure out what was going on with these phenomenon of the UAPs and UFOs. They wanted to determine if the sightings were something that they could actually explain, like logically explain of, okay, this is a weather balloon, this is this technology from whatever it could be, or if it was something that was like really unexplainable and could be a threat to the national security or just a threat in general, or just what the heck is this? Mm-hmm. Project Sign was significant to report, as it was known the estimate of the situation. It was classified and it was top secret. So this all came out way later. Obviously, during this time, nothing was given to the general population. The report that came out later was suggested that some of the UFOs might be extraterrestrial origin. So it was unknown. Later it came out it was top secret, it was unknown, they didn't know what it was. They had no explanation for it. And not everyone in the military agreed with that, and it was like conflict. So obviously they just continued studying more. This led to much controversy in the government and also in the military, and a lot of military officials were really uncomfortable with the thought of the extraterrestrial hypothesis, just like now. So pretty much nothing has changed.
No.
Obviously they wanted transparency, but back then they had it was a little more insufficient evidence because the technology has changed also.
Yeah.
So it's not like I mean, they did have things, but like now we have even more technology, so we can even study even more so. Project Sign was actually it ended in 1949. So that was the end of Project Sign, or AKA Project Saucer. What did continue, because like we said, that it's going to continue because they're still going to have questions. There's going to be the side that they're like, oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is like, you're crazy. And then there's going to be the other side that's like, no, we need to know.
Yeah,
I'm very intrigued. I want to know, what the heck is this, right?
Yeah.
So it continued with Project Grudge. So Project Grudge later was Project Blue Book. It continued again. It was with the U.S. Air Force, who investigated the same thing, UFOs, UAPs, and it did continue for many years. Project Sign was not conclusive to prove the existence of any extraterrestrial life, but it did kind of set the tone and kind of like a platform for them to continue the work and the efforts to try to figure out what exactly the phenomenon was. This work laid a foundation for what we have today, and lots of interest, speculation, and of course lots of enthusiasts and researchers. Going on to Project Grudge, a little bit about that. It was also a classified government program. It was established again by the United States Air Force in 1949. During the early years of what is called the Cold War, the project was the objective was to investigate and regulate reports of UFOs and any threat, again, to national security. So it's just kind of echoing the same thing as Project Sign, but it just would continue on. The mission, again, was to collect and data, analyze UFO sightings, encounters, phenomenon, and determine, again, whether this was conventional or whether it was like some kind of weather phenomenon. A lot of them were saying like it was weather phenomenon or just some kind of natural phenomenon, or again, human-made objects. Like something that someone made somewhere else, another country, and that we're just not aware of what it is, so we're clueless, so we think it's something of another worldly or dimension or whatever.
Maybe another dimension because of time travel.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody 3,000 years in the future has come back here.
Quite possible. David Grush would agree with you.
If we were in a skiff.
He'll be able to tell you more. With Project Grudge, it did include astronomers, meteorologists, because, you know, these could be, what if it is a shooting star?
Yeah.
And it's something that's burning up in our atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it's not a UFO. It's
just an asteroid or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. Space dust.
Space dust. So they did go over a lot of different things that it could be. However, Grudge was somewhat, had more of a skeptical approach towards the UFO investigations, and they were more leaning towards, they just debunked everything. Like, everything just kept getting debunked. And they didn't, like, people believed that they weren't really investigating it wholeheartedly. Like, it was just kind of like to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't happening, like, sweep it under the rug, or just kind of,
no, that makes sense.
Yeah, like they didn't want, if they did
like,
find
let's get rid of this
concrete,
as soon as possible. Let's just get the public eye off of it.
It was very dismissive.
That's a good word.
Very dismissive of UFO sightings. And again, people that were actually reporting these sightings, they weren't, I mean, yeah, there were just regular people like us that could be like, oh, I saw something in the sky. But these are people who are like, they're military pilots. They're for the Air Force.
They're not us.
They've had like, no, but I mean, like, they have experience of what could be in the sky.
Yeah.
Like, they train them on, like, okay, you know, whatever I don't even know how to describe it. Like, what they could see potentially, you know? And they were even discrediting them. So these activities were obviously carried out in somewhat secrecy because it was top secret. And in 1952, the project was reorganized. So it wasn't like ended. Project Grudge turned in to Project Blue Book.
So
it just kind of like transferred.
It
just kind of like morphed into that.
Yeah, so they just kept doing that. They would end one just for somebody else to show interest and it just continue forward.
Yeah, and again, like, you know, Project Grudge was kind of debunking everything. And then when Project Blue Book came about, I don't know, it seems like they were taking more of like back to like a serious approach.
Good. I feel like they have to every time that there's like a new interest or a new project. So, okay, cool. So we closed Project Grudge. Now we're going to do Project Bluebeam. So everybody has to take it seriously all over again.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. And then if everything goes to shit, then we'll do another project.
And I don't have the numbers of how many investigations Sign did, Project Sign or Project Grudge, but I do have a note here that Project Blue Book was more of like you said, like open and more like I don't know, hands-on in a way. Like it was more like, okay, we're gonna do this damn thing. And they conducted thousands of investigations. Like,
oh, wow.
It seems like they investigated a lot more.
It's almost
than
like
others.
now the UAP hearings and all that.
Yeah.
It's like they're finally taking it seriously.
Exactly.
So they had done that, and history repeats itself.
Yeah, and despite, like, in the past, the controversial history of Sign and Grudge, this part of the UFO in the United States, it represents, like, a period when the government was actively studying and cataloging UFO sightings and, like, really contributing and really trying to debate that, and even just not only debate, but really had more of an open mind about, okay, this actually could be extraterrestrial. Like, instead of just, like, writing it off as a weather balloon or swamp gas or, like, whatever they say, they were actually taking it more seriously in the nature of what the unidentified flying objects could be. And, you know, I think about it, too. It could be, like, maybe because the technology was better, too, maybe. I don't know how much technology changed between the 40s and, you know, the 60s. But,
probably,
you know, I think a good amount probably would have changed. But, basically, for Project Blue Book, in 1969, the Air Force did investigate the flying objects, like we stated. And the project was headquartered at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. And remember, we've talked about Wright-Patterson Air Force Base before.
Yes.
And that's where they had a lot of sightings of UFOs. Was it Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio?
So, I actually will be talking about Ohio in my upcoming episode.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with aliens. Or does it?
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe there is some sort of something.
Maybe.
It's all connected, right?
It is. But it's just funny because I saw Wright-Patterson and I'm like,
We've done this before. We've played this game.
This is very interesting.
We should go visit that Air Force Base.
Oh, I wonder.
Oh, we couldn't.
No.
You'd have to, we would have to have somebody that we know on there.
Who do we know that's in the Air Force?
I don't know.
I know somebody that works for Boeing, but
yeah,
really
so I do. We're actually doing something for the Air Force right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, but maybe I can't say anything more.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I can't do any of that.
Yeah. So going back to Project Blue Book, like we said, this is the United States Air Force program. It was established in 1952 when it was like officially established, when it took over. The primary purpose was the investigation and researching of the unidentified objects. The project did continue until December 17th, 1969. That's actually when it ended. and it was officially terminated. And during that time, a total of 12,618 sightings were reported.
Wow.
And investigated.
Wow.
So that was like a huge amount compared to Project Sign and Project
And
Grudge.
for that time period, because you have to think about like talking to people and stuff, it wasn't so easy to get points across. It wasn't like, hey, comment on here and somebody can do it all quick. It was like those 12,000 people had to go out of their way to like send a fucking like telegram or a pigeon or some shit.
Well, was it in the 60s?
But still, like, it was telegram.
Well, it was before the 60s.
Telegram, snail mail. Like, we didn't even have emails.
They had phones.
Okay, call
they
it.
Had telephones.
Yes, telephones, whatever. But it was like that.
They had a telephone.
Okay, sorry. But they didn't have email. That's all I was getting to. Like, they didn't have the internet. The internet seems to have made the world so much smaller. But also, the population was, like, way less. So if you think about it, 12,000 people would have been a huge percentage of population compared to nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been, like, 0.5% of the population are coming forward. If 0.5 of the population did anything together, we could move fucking mountains.
That's
like,
true, yeah.
Nowadays, you know, like, everything has grown, not only in technology, but population, people, like, breeding.
Well, you know, surprisingly enough, it's a big number, but, you know, of those 12,618 sightings, I'm saying only, but 701 of them remain unidentified. So they did find a reason, whether the reason was...
For a bunch of them.
was correct or not, I don't know. I don't have that data. But it was actually...
71
remain unsolved. So, I mean, there could be... And those are just of the ones that were reported.
Mm-hmm.
So, then we get into, like, the conspiracy side of it. That's already kind of a conspiracy in a sense in itself. Because it's like, if you believe or not believe, and if you've seen
Because I was going to be like, well, did all 701 of those, did half of those see the same object in the sky? So then that actually discredits, like, half of them, because, not discredits, but, like, makes half of that whole population just see one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's only one phenomenon, not 701. Do you know what I'm saying? Then there'd be,
Mm-hmm. And then we get into, this is where I talk about Project Blue Beam, which I know is not Blue Book. Blue Book is an actual Air Force investigation, like, program that was funded by the U.S. government for the Air Force. Blue Beam is, like, more of the conspiracy theorist suggestion regarding NASA. And it coincides with, like, the UFO agenda, so I have it in here, that the Project Blue Beam conspiracy theory suggests that NASA has secret plans to create and add to a new world order. And the description of the project is broken down into 4 steps to achieve this potential goal. The first step would be the breakdown of all archaeological knowledge. For example, they would set up earthquakes at certain precise locations around the world where new archaeological discoveries will be explained. And, like, if they were to be found, they would basically just debunk all the meanings of major religions. So, the way that they would do that is that they would use something like HARP. Or that's where we get into the HARP and the direct energy weapons and stuff, and Antarctica, where they have, what is that one called in Antarctica? I did an episode on Antarctica. It's not in my notes here. I thought I would remember.
What?
The ice observatory where they create earthquakes. What is that one called?
Oh,
I forgot the name of it.
HARP,
it's not HARP. It's the other one.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
Oh gosh, I wish I could remember now. But basically, they would use those systems to set up earthquakes, okay?
Uh-huh.
And then the second one would be a giant, basic 3D hologram which would be projected in like not necessarily space, but like in the sky or like in our like above us in the space or like in the atmosphere. Using the example would be using the laser projections with multiple hologram images to different parts of the world. With each region of the world would receive different messages according to their predominant religion, national religious faith, and belief systems to support their belief systems, which will then essentially make those people, if they are compelled to like believe it and they like are really like yes, they will believe that their God or like their Messiah or whoever they believe in would be coming back to like, which would be like end of days.
Coming back to retrieve the people. Like my grandma always had her rocking chair.
Like Revelations.
Revelations.
If you're like Christian.
Yeah, so my grandma would always have her rocking chair headed towards the east because that's where Jesus is supposed to come from. So then that would be when they would take all the people, the chosen or the pure or the whatever, and that everything, all your godly or worldly possessions would be done. So all your rings would fall off, your everything would fall off. I was like 6 and I was like, hey grandma, what happened to your tattoos? And
do they fall off?
She's like, they'll get ripped out of your skin.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I'm never getting a tattoo. Meanwhile, I'm like, they're everywhere. They don't stop. But yeah. So, but what I was going to say about all of that with the Project Bluebeam, what's crazy is that, have you seen the videos in Japan on the side of a building and they have the cat that like is like not
a
hologram that comes out and like chases a ball or something, or like the demon that comes out. Or
they can do it in China too, where they have like they'll have like a whale just swimming through the sky.
Yes.
And
okay,
there's nothing.
Here's a fun fact. Why the fuck did they make the Las Vegas sphere?
The sphere, yes.
The sphere is fucking gnarly and it looks crazy.
You've seen it in person, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so they, last time I went to Vegas, I was like, I need to take a video of this, but I arrived in the day and then I left the following morning. It was daytime. So I couldn't, because I was going to take a video of it and I was on the wrong side of the plane coming in, but I don't think it would have mattered because Bryant took me right next to it, and it wasn't even on when he took me wherever. But anyways, and when I left, it wasn't on because I left till like 8 in the morning. So one of these days I will leave at night because I go there a lot.
But they have it on during the day though too. I've seen it where it's like an emoji. And it's like
but I think
faces at the car.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that that's later on in the day. So, like, because I went there at, like...
Well, it gets dark at 5 now.
I arrived at, like, 8 in the morning, and I left 8 in the morning. So, it was, like, too early. I think that it turns on at, like, noon or something, and I wasn't around it at that point in time.
Yeah, he didn't live right there.
No, he doesn't, no. Yeah. He lives on one end, and then my other friend lives on the other end, so I literally am, like, slingshotted from one end to the other, and the strip is in the middle.
Yeah.
But we don't go through the strip because it would take way too long.
Well, with all those people on the traffic.
So they always like go around or whatever. So I'm hardly ever get to go on the strip unless I'm staying on the strip.
Yeah, or if you guys have a reason, like you're like, oh, we're gonna go get dinner and we'll go to the strip like for fun.
We went to the art district last time. So I could go to Nightmare Cafe, which if you guys have been on Instagram or anything, well, I don't know. It might only be for me because I go to Vegas so much.
I've never even heard of it.
You haven't?
No,
what is
it?
It's like a immersive entertainment dinner thing, and they have like...
is it the one where it's like really high up in the sky?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like on normal ground.
I've seen that
level. It just has a bunch of like on the TV screens. It's all, like, horror movies, just the, like, bloody, slashy parts. And then they have, like, all these, like, mannequins of all the scary horror stuff. Like Freddy and clowns and Beetlejuice and just whatever. Like, just scary shit is just everywhere. It's just like a homage to...
Yeah, for like Halloween.
Yeah, but no, I guess it's there
October.
all the time, I think. But I wanted to go in October. But I think it's there all the time. It's in the art district of Vegas.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people, like my sister, for example, where they're always in spooky season.
Yeah.
Like, even your house, you have, like, bats and stuff.
I know, it's psychotic. I made a pirate cove for spooky season, and then I just left it.
She does have a pirate cove.
I have Billy the pirate that's outside that's just skeletons.
And, like, I am the opposite. I hate anything scary. Like, I don't even watch horror movies.
No, I love it.
don't watch that stuff. I feel like it's, like, it rots your brain or something. Like, nothing against anybody or you or anybody that watches it, but I feel like for me, it's just gonna, like, sit with me and, like, fester, and I'm just gonna, like...
If anything, it desensitizes you to, like, murdering people.
Oh my gosh.
I think, like, that'd be it. But, like, I grew up on horror movies like that.
I did too!
And I don't have, I have impulses to kill people because they piss me off or whatever, road rage. But, like, if I could actually, like, saw off somebody's arm, like, I don't think I could.
I wouldn't want
I physically,
to.
like, I just don't feel like I could. And that's, like, a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
just
good.
It makes me cringe just to think about it.
So my husband hates horror movies. Hates. And I love Freddy, like Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, I had the box set. Like, that is my favorite, right?
I grew up watching Freddy.
Freddy's, like, my favorite.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, on Halloween, he goes...
Well, we should say what it is for people that don't know that might like horror movies. It's A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah. And Brad goes, let's watch Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was like, what? Because he hates slashers and he hates all that stuff. And he's like, well, there's like a plot. And I'm like, let's do Nightmare on Elm Street 5. I fucked up. I meant to do 4, where you see the origin story of him being at the daycare. I did number 5, the origin story of the mom being raped by all the insane people. And
I forgot about
blah.
that.
Yeah, it's a whole story thing.
It's so demented.
I know. So I picked the wrong origin story. I was so pissed.
Demonic. Ew.
It literally is. I love it.
I can't. I know. I can't, like, enter that in my brain.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, back to Project Bluebeam.
So we're getting into things. We're getting into things entering in people's brains. So
Yes.
This is a perfect segue.
So, well, no, but it's like what my perfect segue was that they are.
I was trying to make it fit. Okay.
Yeah, me too. They are placing these, like, spheres or whatever in every major city. It seems not major city, but like like in every country.
See how people will react. Program.
No. So then that way when Project Bluebeam sets forth and they want it, they'll already have the technology to program to...
But then won't people just say, that's coming from the sphere, that's not real?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe the sphere is going to get so, like, the technology will be able to reach so far.
I think they're going to use HARP.
Yeah,
I think they're going to use HARP.
It's just interesting that, like, I don't know.
And all the metal they're putting in the atmosphere with the chemtrails, and somehow it's gonna, like, reflect off.
Oh yeah,
I think that's how they're gonna do it. I don't think they're gonna do it with any of the sphere. Like, I think they're gonna do it with something that it's like almost like a mirage, where it's like not like a solid like they're doing in China and stuff. It's gonna be more like angelic looking and more realistic and translucent and more
So we go to
like a hologram. It literally says hologram. So, I don't know, something that's not as obvious that would be a little more believable.
Brad and I were going through the desert last time we went on Halloween. And we're going through the desert, and there's, like, you know, like, in the desert, there's mirages, but there's not really, because we're not dying or anything, you know?
You can still see one.
No, so we come over this hill, and Brad's like, that's a new house, and I'm like, oh, thank God you see it, too. I thought it was a mirage. Like, legit. Real conversation.
I believe
we were in that orange buggy. Anyways, go on. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Side story.
So we have a lot of side stories when we're... Oh, somebody wrote I'm sorry. I just realized. Somebody wrote, like, a long message there, and I can't read it. shuttle in the other day?
They flew the space shuttle in the other day. Are you talking about the Sphere in Vegas?
Oh.
You took our work pen, Heather. Hello.
Oh, I did. Yes, I stole the pen.
What pen?
It's from Radiant Hospice.
No, but
I just outed myself.
Oh my.
No, it's okay. I don't work for them. I work with them. I don't work for Radiant Hospice, but I do.
But stop saying the name.
It's okay. Radiant is very known. It's like they're all over. I've already told everybody I work with elderly people. In hospice.
I keep trying to respond to people, and oh good, it did respond back to the right person. I keep trying to respond to somebody, and it'll show me like yes. Well, what the fuck am I saying yes to?
Well, she can read that. It says that on here.
What? No, I'm reading on here.
No, but how the camera is that good? I just realized, or she just knows what her pen.
She probably just knows what it looks like. Yeah.
I'm like, Stephanie gave me this pen. It's mine. She did, actually.
Dude, so weird. Okay. As a moderator, you can make changes to this video while it's live.
Oh, you're really...
Oh, shit, I figured out how to
tell us what you think about our new setup and the table and everything. Do you like it?
Oh, my God.
What do you think about it?
I found new information.
I knew the color. Okay, yeah.
Event logs.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Look. I have a whole new page.
Wow, we're doing new developments here.
New developments.
New development.
Dude, I can edit like everything on here. I can like edit like our like the caption, and I can create a poll right now.
Do a poll.
In love with the new setup.
Yay, thank you. And we're thinking about, what should we put here? Let us know. We're thinking about getting a neon sign that says Conspiracies Unlocked. Or we're thinking about leaving it blank, so when I do the reels, I can put whatever I want here, depending on what we're talking about. I'm trying to edit more. You really go to our YouTube and tell me what you think about our new videos that I worked very hard on yesterday. I thought it was Project Blue Book. Oh, that's the same thing. It's Project Blue Book and Project Blue Beam. We're talking about both. I should have said that. But...
Oh my God, I'm dying. Look, I can end it here.
Oh, that means you can start it there.
Maybe?
Probably.
No, I don't think I can. Because it wouldn't start there. It would start on my computer.
We're learning how to do the lives from the laptop, people. So you're watching us learn in real time.
Yes, you are. That's so exciting. Okay.
We're getting actually to the end of the episode, and we paused the RSS feed one. So this is just all back behind the scenes that you get to watch from joining our live. So
okay, I'm gonna start recording again now.
So we're gonna record
1, 2, and 3. Are we ready
to
go back?
I'm gonna talk about this now.
How much do we have left? You said it was gonna be like a 15-minute episode.
Well, I knew we were gonna talk a lot, but I didn't know we were gonna go off on tangents about how we're doing the live and stuff.
But it's 45 minutes on the RSS.
Well, that's great. Good content.
Oh, people want to listen to us, though?
They do.
I guess they do, huh?
You have to think people might not know what Project Blue Beam is, or Project Sign, or Project Grudge, or Project Blue Book.
Or the Las Vegas Sphere.
Yeah, so it might be new to them. Or they just laugh at us and go,
you're an idiot. All right, okay, back to recording. Okay. Ready, set, and go.
So with that being said, that does go into our next step of, which would be telepathic two-way communication. And it is believed that NASA will use low-frequency radio waves to telepathically communicate with humans worldwide.
Will we know that they are, or
no.
will we think it's just an intrusive thought?
We will not know. It will be
So that could be happening right now, and we just don't know it.
Oh, yeah, it could be happening now. Yeah. It would be used to shape our beliefs to match those that would form kind of like a mind control, and to make, but specifically, again, going back to religion, to make them think that their God is sending them the messages. Like they're praying to whoever they pray to, and then they hear like that, almost like an inner monologue, but it would be like not an inner monologue. It would be like their God responding to them and spiritually sending them messages spiritually. And the messages would be broadcasted directly to the brain by NASA, not by any God or any religion or any, it's like to fool the masses telepathically using a low frequency radio wave. Step 4 would be the universal supernatural manifestation using electronic means. Okay, so the final step would be to create a chaotic event, which would leave the people willing or desperate enough. Again, this is all to accept a new world order agenda. Okay?
Oh, shit, Heather.
Oh, did it stop?
So everything that you've just recorded for the past 2 minutes...
I have to do it again. I don't know if I can make it.
No.
Wait, where do I start?
No. It was working. It just all of a sudden stopped. Did you hit
I didn't
something?
do anything. It wasn't me. Technical difficulties.
Do you want Panda Express?
I love Panda Express.
I've been thinking about Panda Express for about an hour.
Shout out to Panda Express. Okay, so where do I start?
I'll tell you.
We're gonna have to repeat some stuff here, people.
Oh my God, what happened?
No! Did it delete everything?
No, not everything.
If anything, we have a live.
Hold on, it's just so weird. Like, why is this all weird? Like, what the deuce?
No.
What's happening? Do I have a virus? Like, what's occurring? Ugh.
I literally have like 2 pages.
I literally have like 0 time for a virus. I just don't have time for this shit. Like, what is going on?
I don't know. Thank you for sticking with us on the live while we figure out these technical difficulties. We're learning as we are going, and you clearly can see that. Mark it.
Step 4. Da 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 da.
Step 4?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
And then it just stops. Like,
That's not bad. So do I just start with step 4?
Okay. Hold on. Let me cut this and splice this so I don't have to deal with it later.
Mm-hmm. What's the last word that you hear?
It's in the middle of you reading that, so just start right there. Step 4.
Mm-hmm.
Just start at step 4.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Wait, hold on. We need to figure out what's going on. Here, do it now. Start a test. Hello?
Step 4.
No, it's not working. Can this die? Did we touch something on it? Like,
I didn't touch anything. Now you did.
What the fuck?
Did it move?
It's like not. It's like all of a sudden died.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello. Okay, now it's good.
Okay.
It's working.
We're back.
We're back. We can hear.
Thank you
Everything
for
is
your
good.
patience.
We're volume checking.
Okay,
Perfect.
so we're
And
just gonna get through
1,
it.
2, 3, and what the fuck?
What?
It deleted. Oh, fucking Christ, hold on. Oh my God.
Why is it automatically deleting on its own?
I don't
The
know.
Matrix doesn't want us to talk about Project Bluebeam and Project Bluebook and Sign and
Step 4
Grudge.
would be. It merged it together. The last.
So bizarre.
It's really. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, never
So
mind.
do I start at step 4?
Yeah, start at step 4.
Okay.
Okay, ready, set,
Mhm.
and.
Step 4 would be the universal supernatural manifestation using electronic means. The final step is to create a chaotic event that will leave people willing or desperate enough to accept this new world order. One is to make mankind believe that an alien invasion is about to strike down on each major city around the world. Second would be that Christians would believe the coming of Christ, or, whatever religion that you believe in, you would believe that your Messiah was coming. The third is a mixture of electronic and supernatural forces unknown. Project Blue Book and, so that's Project Blue Beam. Going back to the Project Blue Book to kind of tie it together is that this was initiated in the response of the surge of the UFO sightings of the 1950s. The U.S. Air Force was responsible for defending an airspace of the United States and launched this project to determine whether UFOs pose a threat to national security and gain a better understanding of unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAPs. The objectives of Project Blue Book. Again, this is Blue Book, not Blue Beam. Blue Beam is like the conspiracy part 1 through 4 we just discussed. Going back kind of full circle, Project Blue Book is as follows. To collect and investigate the UFO sightings and encounters from military and civilian personnel, or civilians, to assess any potential national security posed by the UFOs, analyze data and gather information scientifically, and to provide explanations for the majority of the UFO sightings, either through conventional or natural phenomenon. So they wanted to debunk them, was the main goal, was just to debunk. Over the duration, Project Blue Book did collect thousands of reports, and again, they did find that 701 were unexplainable. While the project did close a significant number of cases as identified, it was notable for leaving a small percentage, like we said, the 701. Project Blue Book closed in 1969, citing the lack of any evidence. Lack of evidence that UFOs represented a threat to national security, and the conclusion that they did not demonstrate an advanced technology or extraterrestrial origin. However, critics and theorists have argued that the project's closure was more of a result of public relations than actual scientific investigation, and the handling of the UFO reports have been criticized for a lack of scientific rigor and transparency. This led to ongoing debates, obviously, for conspiracy theorists and conspiracy podcast shows to discuss it further, and in recent years renewed the interest of the UFOs and an unidentified aerial phenomenon, which now we have, what leads us into the current time of July 2023, when we had the U.S. government come out with 3 whistleblowers saying that this is a multi-decade cover-up.
Which is
multi-decade cover-up. That means that, again, it actually goes with what these programs are saying. All these programs, Project Sign, Project Grudge, Project Blue Book, they were all to basically cover up. They pretended like they were investigating, which they were, but their whole goal was just to find even to the point of convincing people that they didn't see it, they didn't hear it, they didn't witness it. There was people that were actually put in asylums.
That's crazy.
Pilots that were put in asylums over it, and that they were doing like shock therapy and stuff to try to like wipe their brain of it.
That is insane. And
then Project Blue Beam is just like, there's a whole talk of New World Order and Agenda 2023 and the whole
2030
or 20. What did I say?
2023.
Oh, because I'm thinking of
this year.
This year, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it, really, for the episode today. It's kind of like what your take What do you everyone's take on it? Like, do you believe that NASA and the government is covering up? Well, obviously we just had the UAP hearing, so probably.
Yeah, I know.
And now they just came out with the truth.
Gosh.
Yeah.
It's only a conspiracy until it's proven true. Blue Beam, Blue Book, all this UFO shit was a conspiracy.
Project Sign, Project Grudge.
And now
it's coming out that it's
true.
It's
not a conspiracy anymore. It's real.
But Project Bluebeam is still the conspiracy that they're going to be using these technologies
for a
new world order and, their agendas.
But once again,
programming.
Let's think it's only a conspiracy until it's true.
And when are we going to come out and say, oh, remember when we talked about on that episode, blah, blah, blah.
And
now we have a whistleblower.
Yeah.
That's
saying, by the way, the New World Order is real and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we'll refer back to this
We should do an episode on the New World Order because we haven't.
We haven't?
I don't think so.
I feel like we have.
Well, you were going to do Agenda 2030. We haven't done that yet, have we?
Yes.
Oh, we have. Okay, we already did that, yeah.
Did we?
I don't think we did. I don't think that we did. I think you've probably written it, but I don't think we've actually recorded it.
That's so crazy. If we haven't, we'll record that next. Because, I should have.
Did we? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Oh, that's bad. When you
that's
can't
horrible.
remember what you recorded.
I'm pretty sure that we did. Okay.
Oh, maybe we have. So just refer back to that episode.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for listening.
Yes, and thank you so much for staying with us with our technical difficulties. We did have a few, so thank you. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
Thank you, and email us at conspiraciesunlocked@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Bye.
And now, did it end?
Not on there.
No, I know, but see if you can end it on here.
No, I'm going to end it on here.
On the computer.
Yeah.
We're going to test it.
Oh, yeah. So bye.
Thank you, bye.
But don't worry. We'll be back because
I want
to
eat.
talk.
Should we eat them?
Yes, I want to go to Panda.
We're hungry.
And we'll be back in 35 minutes to record about the fifth element.
It's only 6:24. It feels so much later.
Because the time changed. But we're going to do the fifth element next. And
I've never heard of the fifth element.
Yeah, there's the 4 elements.
Yeah, what's
Earth,
the fifth?
wind, air. You'll find out. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Did it end?
No.